Sean Clark.
Hi.
Sean
Hi.
Clark.
Sean Clark.
Hi, Sean.
I'm just gonna,
Some guy, just a guy.
That's all right.
he runs something called Convention All Stars. He also runs Hallowed Grounds.
Horror's Hallowed Grounds. It's a show I host. Now, if you guys have any of the Scream Factory releases, anybody follow that stuff? Just did The Fog, Prince of Darkness.
Oh, cool.
Halloween 2, Halloween 3,
Wow.
Howling. Yeah. I do this locations thing on there where I go back to all the original filming locations. I also do it as a written article in Horror Hound magazine.
Excellent.
And I got a movie that just came out on Blu-ray and DVD on Tuesday called The Black Waters of Echo's Pond that I wrote and produced, starring Daniel Harris, James Duvall, and Robert Patrick.
Awesome.
So that's my plug. Woo!
Very awesome. And how can people find you online?
On Twitter, it's Malfunction, at Malfunction, MALFUNCESEAN. CESEAN. Yeah, I don't even know it. And Facebook, it's like / Horrors Hallowed Grounds / Sean Clark Official. Woo! Because my personal one filled up, so I had to get one of those stupid fan things I hate because it's pretentious.
I'm telling you, we're going back to MySpace soon, man. I'm going to bring it back.
Please. I don't want to go back to MySpace. Social media crap is so hard to follow, and it takes up too much of my time as it is.
Well, Justin,
I don't want to do it.
To redesign it.
Yeah.
It's all redesigned.
I heard, but then they'll redesign Facebook and then this, that, and I don't know. I can't keep up with it. You know, and I got so many friends already. I don't want to have to do that again. So what's your show called? I just walked up and they started, get on this thing.
That's awesome. Our show is called Awesome Talk.
Well, fuck, I'm the right guy then.
Yeah.
I'm pretty awesome.
Basically what we do is we sit around, we drink beers, we argue, debate the shit about the world, but we also air pre-recorded material and interviews, and we show music videos for bands, and we get stand-up. Yeah, we have stand-up comedians in here all the time. Yeah. So how'd you get started?
Oh Christ! I was just a fan, and I've been going to horror conventions since 1989, believe it or not, and just ended up getting involved as a vendor, and then got into journalism. I used to write for a site called Creature Corner, which then we all went to this thing called the Horror Channel, which didn't do anything. And then we all left and started dreadcentral.com. And so who burped? That was brutal. Dude, that was bad. Yeah, Justin let one burp, and I feel like I just had his meal.
Oh, God damn.
Anyhow.
You know now where he was.
There's nothing worse than you can taste it on your tongue.
But basically, in a nutshell, I went from Dread Central to Bloody Disgusting, and then I got into, I put on the Halloween 25th Anniversary Convention.
Awesome.
And from that, we made a documentary called Halloween 25 Years of Terror that Anchor Bay put out.
Wow.
And that's kind of what started me on this sort of path, I don't know, of doing this crap. And then I started Convention All Stars, where I basically have about 200 clients, celebrities that I represent at all these conventions. Some of the more recognizable ones, Norman Reedus is one of my clients, so I travel with him a lot. What's that?
I was just saying that was awesome.
That's very cool.
Dude, this is completely off topic from what you do, but I just have to ask your opinion. What is your opinion on the new Halloween movies, as far as how good they are compared to the old Halloween movies?
Yeah, some out of the 80s.
Oh, you mean Rob Zombie's version?
Yeah.
I did this morning. I got up and I made a shit that was more interesting than Halloween 2. But I will say this. I will say this. I thought his remake of Halloween was pretty terrible until I saw his Halloween 2. Now I kind of think Halloween isn't as bad, just because of how bad Halloween 2 was.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a fan.
Well,
not a fan.
Are you not a fan of Rob Zombie overall, or is it just those movies?
No, actually, I like House of a Thousand Corpses. I love Devil's Rejects, even though I don't think it holds up. But Lords of Salem was
Yeah.
unbearable.
I
I mean,
I didn't really feel like Devil's Rejects counted as a horror movie.
Yeah, I
No,
wouldn't
it's-
call it
it's-
horror.
It was
more of a road
teetering.
movie. It's, you know,
It's a family.
but it's a good movie. I thought it was good. But I don't think he's done anything good since Devil's Rejects. Now, mind you, I think Rob's a very talented director. He's a great visual director. I mean, he's done all those music videos. He knows how to direct. I just think he's a bad writer. I think he needs to find people, a good screenwriter to give him a good script. I'd love to see him do something good with a good script.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
And yeah, and no offense, because a lot of these dudes are my friends. Yeah, I'd like to see him cast not out of a convention. I'd like to see him actually get, maybe some fresh faces and not just, basically go to Monster Mania and ask everybody signing, hey, would you like to be in my movie?
Yeah,
And
that's
just his
weird.
wife.
Yeah, right.
Wish the guy would do something without her. Anything. I was like, oh my God, she's finally not going to be in Halloween 2. She's dead. Motherfucker figures out a way to bring her back. I mean, yeah, I don't. It's like she's on his album cover. She's in his videos.
Yep.
Well, he's a little
It's obvious.
It's a little whipped
It's
up.
obvious who wears the pants in that family.
Or the
Yeah.
tiny shorts.
I have another question for you, just an opinion question. My favorite actor of all time is Bela Lugosi. I've had this conversation with so many people. So many fucking people that I know that like horror movies despise horror movies from that generation. They don't even consider it horror, which it's a completely different type. But he set the fucking bar for so much shit. Like, how do you feel about like 1930s era horror movies compared to what there is now? Do you think it even has a place anymore? Because
No, I'm a huge fan of the classics. Absolutely. I mean, they're pretty campy now if you watch them, but they have a charm that you can't recapture. It's just like the horror films of the '70s. They have a vibe and a look to them
They do have
that
a look.
just can't be recreated. And with all this digital media, and not shooting on film anymore, we're definitely losing that look. I think it's going to be a lost art. Unfortunately, digital, I think, is a bad thing in some regards. Look, Stanley Kubrick's my favorite filmmaker, and I don't care what kind of digital camera you have, you're never going to get the look of his movies. There's no way.
Right.
You know.
Well, that kind of technology, I think it sort of forced people to have to be more creative about how they were going to apply certain things. Whereas now it's like, oh, don't worry, we'll just put that in there digitally. We'll just green screen it. Whereas back then I felt like people had to be, they were put in a position where if they wanted something to look a certain way, they had to.
not only that,
figure out how
but
to
back
do it.
then it was more character driven. Like, for example, like I said, with Bella, it's his fucking persona that makes the movie. It's not anything happening. It's him, his presence. And now that's taken over by, let's just put in a bunch of gory shit and forget about people actually acting.
Right.
A perfect example is a guy like Vincent Price, who was one of those dudes that could take the shittiest material and make it semi-believable because of how great he was.
Yeah.
He was such a good actor. He could take the campiest speech and intrigue, you know what I mean? Because he just had that presence. Like Bella, I don't think Bella wasn't the greatest actor. But he did have the presence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I'm a huge fan of all that old school stuff for sure. Because that paved the way, you know. I wish we'd get back to a lot more of that stuff. In fact, I watched a movie last night. I'm really digging a lot of stuff Ty West is doing, and I just saw The Innkeepers last night for the first time, and I really dig the, very slow burn kind of movies, like House of the Devil. I don't know if you guys saw that. Justin's giving me a big hell yeah.
I love Ty West in both movies. Okay, I got to meet Ty West briefly. He was really cool, and he signed my
penis.
house.
It's called a penis.
Sign the tits.
He signed my house.
Blackie.
I to be walking by and I got into this, so I got to keep walking.
All
All
right.
right.
It was nice meeting all you guys.
Can you just say one more time where people
Take
can
care.
find you online? One more time where people can find you online.
Well, again, my name's Sean Clark. HorrorsHallowGrounds.com, I think, redirects you to my Facebook page. And then Twitter's @Malfunction.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, dude. It was great.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks.
guys. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you. All right, brother. Take care.
So let's move. Good.